So David Brailsford was in the stands last night as Manchester United made a miraculous comeback at Old Trafford against Aston Villa. But more importantly, everyone is wanting to know what happens now. We had a little bit of a boost on the pitch, but what is going to be the difference off it? What power do Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS have at Manchester United right now? There's more details come out. We're getting into that right now in this video. Guys, get your comments in the live section. Welcome along. Good morning. The morning after what was an actual game of football last night, and United actually competed in one for a change. It was an absolute breath of fresh air. It was. Tired this morning, but I don't care. It's worth it for a win for the Reds. Welcome along to Forever United TV, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all recovered. Let me know if you're in work. Are you back in work yet? Is it a case of back to norm, or are you still off enjoying yourselves, having a bit of a lie-in today? What is going on in the world of all the subscribers on Forever United TV? Let me know, everybody. And yes, hopefully this little bit of a boost on the pitch can continue into this weekend. We're going to be looking ahead over the next couple of days to Nottingham Forest as well. For some reason, it's like real December, and I've got a wasp right in above me, above my head, that's going to now start doing my head in all game. Sorry, mate. Get out. Oh, God, it's the things you have to work with here. First of all, sorry for being a bit late. My compadre, Ben, set the time to the wrong one. Then realising that everyone was in the room, I have just rushed myself into the studio, and I'm now with you guys here. So, yes, it is all go, as we say, with Manchester United right now. But what I want to talk about, the most important thing, obviously, we'll talk about the game and get your thoughts on this, because, like I said, it was late last night. I've not had a chance to really look through everyone's messages yet. Getting in at gone 12 o'clock with all the videos and content we were putting out last night. So what I want to get into is more news was sort of, or not so much news, but more detail came out about what's actually going on with INEOS, where the power's lying and everything like that. So I'm just going to read you a few extracts from what the Muppeteers were putting out this morning, which has come from the official form. So I'm just going to be fighting that wasp ball show, I think, guys, so just bear with me. It's just not what you need. I don't want one of these things landing on my head all of a sudden. But yeah, God, who'd have thought you'd have a wasp at this time of year? Bloody freezing. So yeah, God knows. Anyway, where's that? I trust me to be in my bleeding other kit as well. I'm scared it's going to come up under now and sting me on the bleeding legs. I tell you what, I'm blaming Ben for all of this. He set me up royally today. I think he even planted this wasp in here with me as well. But yeah, let's get into what is going on with United. I'm just going to... Actually, I've got an opportunity to get this thing. I think I've got it. Yeah, the Grinch nailed it. Live TV, live YouTube even. God, talk about being thrown right in the mixer. Anyway, sporting control, and what does it mean? Oh, you little fucker. Get off me. Fucking bastard. Absolutely. I've been set up royally here today. I'm going to be on a total fight here against the bleeding wasp all stream, just to try and keep it professional. Oh, God. This is what happens when you're not prepared properly. I swear. The creatures come out of all sorts of corners. I tell you what, he took a right whack. And he's, what's the name? He's still going, this guy. So, yeah, going to be interesting. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge anyway. Let's get into it. So, the powers that be are now INEOS at Manchester United, and you have to look at, and we have to look at, what that means for us. Where are we going? Who and what is going to happen? Who has got the control of that? And more importantly, January, what's coming right now. So the most important part from the extract, from everything and all the detail now of this takeover, not so much takeover, but 25% stake and the sporting control. Sporting control: appointing, dismissing or accepting resignation of director of football or manager or subsidiaries, contracts of any kind of players, transfer of any kind of exercise of any options, including loans, contract extensions, etc. And in addition to that, they cannot take any of these actions now, even before the deal is closed, without consent of INEOS. So cutting it there and just going through what is actually going down there is, there is obviously a contract in place where, yes, INEOS are not official. They have to go through all of the checks with the Premier League and everything like that. But it is a case of everything has to be passed through them. The Glazers have zero control over anything that happens in January. So what's being said is, if there were any plans in the pipeline, it has to be cleared through INEOS. So the power that was there was now passed over to INEOS. I see Ben in the chat there. Guys, someone just confirmed to Ben what time every single morning show has been, just to remind his little brain that it's never been 11 o'clock. It's always been 11:30. So yes, just remind him. By the way, me and Ben are actually back tonight together doing a watch along for the City game on Top of the League, so come and join us there. We'll be on Wasp Watch, and yeah, hopefully we can see the Toffees take down City. But yes, we will be back later on after my show here, the evening show, because we're back to normal schedule now, guys, as well, here on Forever United TV. Transfers of any kind or exercise of any options, including loans, contracts, so on and so forth, everything has to be passed through INEOS. This basically means, even as of right this second, Glazers cannot make any footballing decisions. So what it's saying is, everything is in writing. They're obviously just going through the necessaries in terms of checks and things like that, but Glazers now have zero control over anything football related at Manchester United. That's set in stone. There may be plans there that the INEOS may like. They may veto it. They may say that that's okay, but ultimately everything has to run through them. It has to be passed by them, and it has to be their say final on anything going forward right now. They likely cannot change course from what is called a transfer plan, which is a plan of players, etc., already disclosed and likely agreed to by INEOS. So if there are already plans, they can be currently carried out during the period between now and closing, but they cannot make new plans that would affect the time after closing. So basically, this for me is just Manchester United now just telling everybody that there is going to be nothing going on in January, simply because we're doing the whole process of INEOS being confirmed at the club, and now it's going to take us up to the end of January. Would there have been any money available in January from Sir Jim Ratcliffe? Looking at the proposals, looking at everything that we've known and what's been announced since Christmas Eve, it doesn't look like there was going to be much investment in the playing squad anyway. It all looks infrastructural. So yeah, we've got a lot of players coming back, and we have to look at everything past January, probably more towards the summer transfer window, and hope that Ten Hag can turn this team around. We've talked about that numerous times already, but yeah, you have to look at this now and go, at least we know that INEOS are in, the Glazers have got zero power, and the pressure ultimately has just been shifted across to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir David Brailsford now. So just driving out this morning, for instance, all I'm hearing on the radio is Sir David Brailsford's plans going forward. What's his to-do list? What does he need to sort out? Ultimately, it is one of just organising Manchester United right now. That's what we've got to look at. That's what we need to look towards, and what we need to hope he can get in place. His whole method, his whole setup that he is one of just marginal gains in numerous different areas, bringing all of them together. If you improve all of them a little bit, then it all enhances Manchester United going forward. Where he's going to do them, I do not know. His experience in football is limited, as we know, only with Nice. But yeah, the area of sport and sports science and things like that, that's an area where we can expect him to sort of excel. So I don't know, dietary stuff, things like this, he's going to be looking into everything. So you've got to look at that and go, well, if he can improve anything there, that's a good thing. I know it's not going to fly with a lot of United fans. It's not going to be like the news that they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear of big changes. They wanted to hear of possible transfer plans, structure and things like that. It's just going to take time. I think one thing we can expect very soon or as soon as we actually get the full confirmation, is that obviously we're going to get a new CEO in place. We're on an interim at the moment. That's going to be Jean-Claude Blanc, but past that, then the recruitment area and the director of football, I think that's where Manchester United need to be looking at more, and we won't see anything from that for a very, very long time, because it's going to take time for that to come across. So yeah, what has been leaked out last night is good news in a way, that the Glazers now have zero power in any football matters with Manchester United. It's now going to be a case of putting pieces in place and being ready to hit probably by the end of the season. So how can INEOS, this is the question now, how can INEOS help Erik Ten Hag going forward? How can they help Ten Hag for the rest of this season? That's more the point that I think a lot of United fans want to know more about. Alien with a super chat, cheers for this, buddy. Hey Adam, tell Ben to get you wired for sound. Yeah, no, sound issues yesterday, guys. Thanks for everyone just rubbing it in and bringing it up. I'm only joking. Yeah, we had sound issues outside Old Trafford yesterday. I am going to get them sorted. We have figured out what the problem was, and next time I'm outside, we'll all be fine and dandy. But yes, cheers, guys, for all the updates on that. I know it wasn't easy yesterday, but you guys were helping along through pretty much through the whole day, really. So yes, great to have your input back. That's what it's all about. Like we said before, it is our channel, so any sort of improvements we can make, we will. We've ordered a new bit of kit which will hopefully help everything sound wise when out on location. So Stephen Williams, sound lad. Yeah, sound brilliant. But no, that's what we want to do here on the channel. We want to bring you different content on location, different areas as well. So we have to make sure everything's right, and while we're testing things out, your input is massive in this as well. So thank you very much for all your comments yesterday and everything, because it does help and go towards making everything better the next time. So that's what it is, little improvements all along, bit like Sir David Brailsford, little improvements in different areas, moving along and making things better. I think we can say that we are like, well, we're not as bad as United here on Forever United TV, but we are that work in progress. That's what we are. We're actually moving forward and making things better continuously. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let's get in here. Dobie is free. Adam, if this rat deal was good for the club / fans, they wouldn't have announced it on Christmas Eve. These Glazers demons love a good PR. To be honest, mate, on that side of things, I've said it, I've had my piece on it. I thought it was a disgrace how we did it on Christmas Eve. Well, everyone was just caught off guard. No one was looking at any sort of news. Everyone was thinking feet up, getting ready for Christmas. United dropped this bombshell. I don't think anyone is going to be happy with any decision that comes out of Manchester United ever now. There's always going to be a large portion of this fan base that isn't happy with anything. So I've just figured that they've just done that just for minimal impact from everyone else looking in, and that's why we got it on Christmas Eve. I don't think that it is going to be... I don't think it's going to be a big thing going forward in the future. We knew it was going to happen. I think it just really riled people. I think it really wound people up that this club have just done the dirty again. And yeah, it is United. You're dead right. You're dead right, mate. It is just the way we work. No worries, Adam. The channel is class. Cheers for that, mate. Big up everyone. Sing a Highland song, please. That was good last night. It was. Love outside yesterday, says John. Good stuff. Let me know, guys. Is it good? I can see most of your comments, obviously, when I'm in the studio as well, and we will work out a system where I can see more. We did get through quite a few comments on the show yesterday, but obviously we have to just improve bit by bit. That's what it's all about. Make sure you do give the video a like, guys. Over 200 in with us, so if you can just give the video a like, tickle the like button, as we say. It's all good. Thank you very much. All helping the channel move forward as well. And yeah, like I said, different bits of content. I think we're going to be moving around quite a bit now going forward, because like with United, it doesn't stay still, does it? It is just full on, constantly, never breaks, and there is always something going to happen. I feel like this next month is going to be a very, very busy month for United news wise. I think we're going to be covering a lot, we're going to be discussing a lot together, and it's all going to be around the future of Manchester United. Ten Hag needs to keep himself in the picture for the future of United by continuing to perform on the pitch, or help United perform on the pitch, I should say. Adam, what do you think of the 18-month clause about selling the club? This is something else that came out. So, guys, get your questions in. If there's anything that you guys want to bring up, I have read through most of the article. So, any questions you want to bring from that you might have read, just bring them up into the chat and let's have a conversation about them. That's what it's all about. On that one, yes. So, what's happening is the £33 a share is set. So, anyone can come in, and the Glazers will be able to sell Manchester United if someone comes in at that price. But in that, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS will have a chance to actually match or better any bid coming in. So that's another important part of everything that was in this article and the detail within. So Jim has placed himself well, and the Glazers have placed themselves well, as you'd expect businessmen to do. And I feel like right now the Glazers are in the stronger position. So Jim is just trying to find his feet and build his position into the strongest position at Manchester United. I do feel like he will start to purchase more and buy more. There is another £9 million worth of shares that are there for Jim Ratcliffe as an extra investment. It's going to be coming more and more and more. So yeah, I think, and it was also a part in the article as well which said that any shares going forward that will be bought will be the B shares as well. It won't just be the A shares, it will be the power shares, the power voting shares as such, that the Glazers own, which is the all important one for us fan base, because they're the ones that we want to see taken away from the Glazers. So yes, it is a big moment. It's going to take time for anything to really change at the club, and change in terms of where the Glazers are compared to INEOS and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and who owns more and who has more of a say. I think over time we'll see Sir Jim become more powerful within Manchester United, buying more and positioning himself into a stronger spot at the football club right now. Because right now he's in a good position. He's got control of the football, so he can bring so much more to Manchester United. He's a businessman that wants money for what he's invested as well, so let's not just kid ourselves. So Jim Ratcliffe isn't just going to come in and just throw everything at United. He isn't bothered. Obviously we know there's no dividends for 3 years as well in this, so that stays still. Nothing else is coming out of what is made by the club, so that can be invested back into the club. Some will say that's just minority and it's not much. I understand that argument, but at least it's something. But this is a businessman that has turned businesses around that aren't been doing very well. Manchester United, obviously as a business, have been doing crap, because we're still losing money, because ultimately the main thing is the football. And the only reason United are worth anything is because of the football and the history of the club. So that has to do well. You can push the commercial side as far as you want, and we've maxed out on that. So now it's down to Sir Jim to come in to start making Manchester United more successful on the pitch, which will boost the share prices. They're obviously up, I think they're up 4% or something like that since the news has broke. So it's working straight away. So everything that Sir Jim has got in Manchester United is now pushing him to make United better, to make more money for himself as well. But his look on it is solely the football side of things. So for him to make more money, he has to make United successful on the pitch. Broken down. But yes and no, the side act to that is the fact that, well, that's just enhancing the Glazers and making them more money. Again, they're not just going to go. They're businessmen. They've got a lot of money resting on this, and they can see how much money they can make. They're not just going to let that lie and let someone else take over completely harder. They can see how much money they can make. They've made a fortune out of this deal alone, and they're going to make more money out of United going forward. So Jim has never been successful in football, so this will be very interesting. Let's see if there are any, see if they will communicate with the fans. That is on the list, Gehan, as one of the to-dos, actually. The communication with the fans is massive, so they have said that this is something that they are going to work on as well. We will see. We will see. Time will tell with this one. It's an interesting one whether or not they are going to be different to the Glazers in terms of the communication side of things. So yes, have the FA given the okay to the deal? It's all on the Premier League at the moment, Asher. That's going to take 4 weeks-ish. we're not going to know on the total okays and it being signed off until the end of January. So we don't have to worry ourselves with that at the moment. The process takes that long. It normally would take around about 6 to 8 weeks, but we're being told, I think we heard this news on Christmas Eve as well when the announcement was made, that this can be turned around in possibly 4 weeks. I feel like they've just been putting pieces in place to make this process move as smooth as possible. So yeah, I expect it to be end of January, going into February. And if you look back to the video we did with Chris Wheeler from the Mail, he was saying that you'd expect to see Sir Jim Ratcliffe in charge and fully in situ with INEOS at Manchester United with his 25% stake by February, mid-February-ish. So earmark that. That's when we're looking at things moving along, and that's when we're actually thinking that Manchester United are going to have Sir Jim taking control, and decisions that he makes then will be final. Right now there is just that little bit of the contract in place where nothing can be done right now, nothing new can be done. There are obviously things that could have been in motion that United might have been working on that INEOS can veto as well, but at the end of the day, the Glazers now cannot make any more footballing decisions. Season tickets will go up, mark my words. Interesting one there, Alien. I think that is something that a lot of fans will be keen to see what happens. Footballing matters. Does that mean that that is ticket prices? Is that included in it? I've not read enough to find that detail yet. That may come under the other side of the business that the INEOS group haven't got control of. So I look at that and go, I don't 100% know yet. But season ticket prices obviously have just gone up for the first time. Are they going to keep going up now to try and make more money? I don't know. How are they going to work this? What is going to be the plan? I honestly think they are going to try and fix Old Trafford. They're not going to build a new stadium. I think it will be Manchester United working on the south stand, which is going to cost around 800 million over time. They could finance that. They could easily bring in investors to finance that. How they're going to do it, but I feel like that's where they will go, because it's about the football side of things. If they make Old Trafford, if they expand Old Trafford, then they'll make more money. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to take Manchester United forward, it just means better gate receipts, which at the moment are standing at just over 4 million a game for Manchester United at home. If you expand that to 85, 90,000 possibly by doing the south stand, you can imagine that going up towards 5, 6 million a game. If United are doing well in all competitions, the more money coming in. It's about the football side of things right now. I think that's where the money is, and I think that's where Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to make his side. He's going to make his bit of money on the side. I don't think he's going to be into all the commercial deals and that. We know the rest of the football club can deal with that. We're the best in the business at that, sadly. That's where the focus has been. So Jim Ratcliffe, he's taking care of football and bringing money in and finances that way. The Glazers and their team, the commercial side of things, they're doing their bit, and together, that's how they're looking to fund Manchester United and develop United. But the one good thing that I keep taking from this is that Manchester United have to be good on the pitch for this to work. So an emphasis has to be on them making things better for Manchester United as a football team, rather than the commercial side of things. I would say that's the one big positive I'm taking from it. Change has to happen for Sir Jim to get anything out of this, and he's not stupid. He knows for him to make money, he's going to have to make Manchester United make money, and by that we have to be in all the best competitions, and we have to be fighting at the top table of European football and at least English football. I have noticed an influx from academy graduates in the team lately. This is the way forward with astute additions. Mo, we can start talking about that now actually. Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, Kwambwala come through as well. Obviously we've got a young striker in Rasmus Højlund there. Youthful players. Let's not kid ourselves. This season the academy players have probably been the one shining light. What was that? His 5th goal of the season for Garnacho last night. 6th goal for Højlund. Another performance for Kobe Mainoo last night. I thought he was excellent, especially after the disappointment of the West Ham game and in making that mistake. I actually thought that Ten Hag would take him out of the team tonight. But we are getting, and I think this is the future of Manchester United, and I think this will actually bring the fan base on board as well, because last night the atmosphere was the best I've heard it at Old Trafford for a very, very long time. From being booed off at half-time to the noise that was Old Trafford at the end was something I didn't expect and was kind of taken aback by. The fans were behind the team, and the team finally reacted to that, because that's something that they do not do. It's something that this team have not done all season. But what they need to do now is try and turn that into consistency. And maybe if we see more players coming through the youth system, like Camberwell, like Garnacho and Mainoo, you've got to look at that as a positive. That's like United going back to their roots. And I think this is where, ultimately, Manchester United's future lies. It sounds a bit cliche, I know, but we haven't got enough money at the moment. It's going to be astute signings, like Mo says there. I feel like that is definitely the way forward. No big blockbuster signings. Really not. I don't think there will be. I think Manchester United will be looking to develop talent rather than buying it in. I think this is where Manchester United's new structure is going. And I think under INEOS, I think that's what it is. I think small gains, minor gains throughout the academy, throughout the recruitment side of things, buying players young, buying players from other academies and bringing them in like we did with Garnacho. I think this is where Manchester United can prosper, and I think we've seen that. Camberwell looks like a well-established player in that first team. He's done well in the under-21s and the other youth setups. Like I said, Garnacho, Camberwell, Kobe Mainoo, all graduates of that first FA Youth Cup victory a couple of seasons back. And that there is... That's a system there that actually works for United. That's where we need to be going. That's where this club needs to be heading. And I think that's where Sir Jim and his team will sort of look at. Adam, I'm 1958. We do what can. You got back at reach. Kerr Ruffles. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said there, mates. It sort of came out a bit different. Sadsak, when we really need summer signings, the Euros will stall things further. Well, it depends if you're ready or not. Depends if you've got a structure in place. If you get these deals done quickly and start to do your recruitment side of things and get a system in place, then I don't think it will. I think before I can see your argument, Sadsak, but yeah, I think this will be different this time, and this will be the ultimate test and a good one this summer. And you see, it's right for bringing it up. Erik ten Hag will be safe till the end of the season, I hope. I think he'll see the end of the season now. We just keep getting these results when we need them with Erik ten Hag, and it's good that he's going to be in situ. It's like no one else will come in right now and do a better job than Erik ten Hag dealing with everything that's going on right now. We've said this all along. I've said he winds me up with some of the things he says and the team selections, but from that West Ham game, what did I say? I said stop playing Scott McTominay, start playing players that will actually work in the system you want. You're playing players in their favourable positions and they're doing more. We had Eriksen in last night instead of McTominay, and the difference was night and day. It was just clear. Someone who's better on the ball, someone better technically, who is calm, composed in tough situations, less erratic. That's what Eriksen is. Yes, he may not throw himself into a tackle, he's not good in the air, he's not quick, but he's calm on the ball. And when you've got a young player in Mainoo looking up and passing the ball to, no disrespect, McTominay compared to Eriksen, it helps him and his development. It helps his footballing brain work more. It's like I can now think of a next move and I can think of the next pass past giving it to Eriksen, and that's how football should be working. That's that cohesive unit through midfield. And I've said all along, until Manchester United's midfield is sorted, the front line is going to suffer. And last night we had a pretty energetic midfield alongside that little bit of class of Christian Eriksen, and we created a little bit more. Yes, Aston Villa played into our hands. they went in full-on suicidal mode, which is just crazy. I couldn't believe what I was watching with them, but still, it was good to see Manchester United creating at least half chances, actually snapping into the tackle, winning the ball back high, and that was down to the energy levels of Bruno, Garnacho, even Rashford last night stood up and was absolutely... He was counted last night, Rashford. That was the best I've seen him all season. That was like the Rashford of last season. That was, welcome back. Please, please, please keep playing this way, Marcus Rashford, last night, because he's been missing all season. And his decision making last night was perfect. We should have had more. He should have had 2 assists. Garnacho maybe hold his run a bit more. Or could Rashford have carried the ball a bit more? Maybe I'm being a bit unfair on Garnacho there, but the set up for that goal from Rashford, the one that kicked everything off, that was everything last night, and it was good to see. So when you think about it, you had the likes of Rashford, Garnacho, you had Camboala, you had Dangor, you had Hannibal, Mainu, and McTominay. That's seven academy graduates from Manchester United finishing that game near enough last night, or playing a part in that game last night. That is Manchester United, and I'm telling you now, that will be the way that INEOS move forward. They won't be looking to bring in the Galacticos. You can forget about the Falcao, Di Maria, Paul Pogba, Jadon Sancho, Anthony days. They're gone with United now. Under INEOS, with the budget the way it is, it's got to be different. They're being forced to be different. So I think that's what we've got to look forward to. Maybe our homegrown talent. And you know what? If anything, that will just bring the fan base on board even more. And maybe we can start building that connection again with the players and the fans that we had last season for a short time, that's been lost completely because the first team players have just spat the dummies out completely and just lost the way. Absolutely lost the way. They have been the biggest disappointment this year, the first team players. We have it over 100 likes on the video, guys. Thank you very much. Brilliant stuff. Keep liking the video, as always. It does help the channel moving forward. And don't forget, make sure if you are tuning in for the first time that you hit that you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification as well for all the upcoming content. Honest Tiger has just donated a membership. Adobe is free, has taken that one. Thank you very much, Honest Tiger. Don't forget, guys, all the members, come the Wolves game, you will be getting announcements. I have seen all of you enter in the community post to enter into the 1988 replica shirts. That is the giveaway for all members. So brilliant stuff. Get onto that as well, guys. And yeah, you are fully involved, and I appreciate all of your input into the channel and contributions. Honest Tiger, legend, thank you very much. Sat says, can Radcliffe actually stop the Glazers taking out dividends as a minority shareholder? Adam, can you advise, please? There is something in place for the first 3 years where they can't take dividends out. So no dividends coming out. Whether or not things change, I think this is never changing contracts. Right now there's certain limits. There's 1 year for something in place. There's 3 years for something also in place. So I think this will be an ever-changing sort of setup and power share between Radcliffe and the Glazers. It's gonna chop and change as we go along, I feel. But ultimately, there is no pathway for full takeover. But things can change, and that may be the case. We know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to want more. So he is going to get more powerful within Manchester United as we goes along, and that's a definite. So let's let him get settled in. Let's see how far this 25% takes him. Let's see what the footballing control of things take. And then over the years, and it will be years, so I think we just have to accept that and not get too carried away that the change is going to be very, very quickly and continuously. In terms of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's going to take a long time. And I feel like right now we're just in a place as a fan base where we just need to try and look at the positive of what we can, and that is that the Glazers now don't have full charge of Manchester United. It isn't their say. So when it comes to, and I think the biggest thing out of all of it, and like I've said before, like the footballing side of things is going to improve. It has to for Sir Jim to succeed. So he is being driven by football quality now, and United improving on the pitch to make anything himself, which is good. So even if you did sort of disagree with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and why he was coming in, even if you weren't happy with him coming in and making money from his investment into Manchester United, know that for him to make anything, United have to be successful on the pitch, and that ultimately is a positive. You have to look at it that way, I feel. But the Glazers having no say on football matters is huge. So say for instance, when a transfer comes around now, this is going to be where every United fan is tuned in, and this is going to be the interesting part in all of this. So when a transfer comes around, are we going to get out that long drawn out saga again of Manchester United trying to buy a player, or is it going to be different under INEOS? That is the one thing that I want to know, and how that's going to work, because of the recruitment personnel, because of the new director of football, the CEO. Is it finally going to change? Are Manchester United going to go into a deal and go bang bang bang, yes yes, done, signed, no messing, no going in with a stingy stupid bid, waiting it out, drawing it out, and then coming out of an excuse at the end of a transfer window saying that, oh, we at least tried but we just couldn't get that deal over the line, the bid wasn't big enough, some poor excuse. That's where I think a lot of United fans will be judging INEOS as well. So we're not going to see anything in January, sadly. We're going to have to wait to the summer. But hopefully they've got their pieces in place for the last part of the season. And then going into the summer, we're ready to rock if we are going to buy anyone. And also on top of that, it's going to be really interesting who we buy. Because like the comment said before, I think it was Mo when he said it's going to be astute signings. It's not going to be the big bonanza Galacticos. It's going to be players that have been scouted out, the hidden gems as such as well, younger players. Let's get into the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. I've gone on long enough there. Is the clear out going to be for players and coaching staff too? Complete control of outings of staff and players all the way through the footballing side of things, from the under-21s, women and first team, players and staff, yes. So we could be seeing changes in coaches. Like we said, the whole sports science department, we don't know, but if they're not happy with what they're seeing, and they will go through a full, they will analyse everything at Manchester United. They will do a full breakdown of everything that's going on. I think that's another stage which is coming up right now. They're going to be continuously placed at Carrington. They're going to be looking how the operation runs. They've been given access while everything's going on to foresee how Manchester United are currently running. They will then take their judgment from that and then start implementing where they think improvements are needed, possibly bringing in different members of staff here, there. Do we need as many members of staff in certain departments? All of these decisions now are on INEOS. So Carrington is about to get its biggest shakedown ever. And when you look at the investment in that, that may not just be the infrastructural in like a physical form. This could be in the staffing side of things, more staff, better equipment. This is where INEOS's small gains sort of look on things starts to come into fruition, and that's when you start looking at it a bit more closer. If you are interested in that sort of thing, that's what you've got to look at as what they're going to do at Manchester United. I hope the players use yesterday's second half as to start performing better. That is how we should be starting games and playing all the time. Best performance I've seen since last season, says G96U. I totally agree with that. Best second half. Let's be honest. We said it last night in my fan vlog. Do go and watch the fan vlog last night, guys. Actually seeing me happy outside Old Trafford is a rarity this season, so you want to see that. That's on the channel now, so go and have a watch of that. And in that video, I remember saying, look, this is absolutely brilliant. That performance there, we actually scared Villa and they started to drop off. And our plan actually came through. Like what we were doing, pushing them back and stealing the ball further up the pitch, it was working. Yes, Villa played their part, and I can't believe how poor they were in the end, but it counts for absolutely nothing if we go and get beat at the City ground. It's like Chelsea all over. We were stood there after the Chelsea game going, yes, this is it. We went and got smashed by Bournemouth. Liverpool expected a tatering. We stood firm, we defended resolutely and got a great result. And then what happened? We went and got beat by West Ham in the next game. And now we've done it again. We've come back against a very, very good Villa side, showed massive amounts of character, but it only came because we went 2-0 down. Our game upped because we had to up it. It was embarrassing at one stage how poor we were defending, and it was an even game. I said it in my vlog. I said Manchester United were in that game. Villa were creating as much as United were. The possession was equal, the shots were equal. The only difference was Villa's offside trap was working an absolute treat, as it has all season. 9 offsides to 0 at half time it was in favour of Aston Villa. We were just suckered in and they were playing it brilliantly. But we got to grips with it. They dropped deeper and we took advantage. We started winning the ball back higher up the pitch and we just came down hard on Villa and we took our chances, thankfully, finally. There was one point last night at half time where Manchester United, there was only Sheffield United that had scored less goals than us. We were 19th in goals scored in the league. My God, thank God we got them 3 goals just to save ourselves a little bit. But that's only 21 this season so far. Barely a goal a game. It needs to improve. And you know what? I'd just say right now, Manchester United, just go and compete with everyone. Don't try and defend. Yeah, it may work against Liverpool, but if you try and do that, and we tried it against West Ham and it didn't work, play your best players in their best positions, the ones that you know it works, and try and find something going forward. We have got good players. If they want to turn up, we will beat Nottingham Forest. It's if they want to turn up and what sort of attitude we're going to have going into this game. I said it last night. Celebrate that win. Don't celebrate it like you've won a cup final or you've just beaten Villa at Old Trafford. No disrespect, and they're having a great season, but if you're going to think that that's it, we've saved ourselves again. And I said that against Chelsea. It's like, we got that game won, but yeah, we got another big game coming up. Don't take it for granted because you've got 1 win and 1 performance that's going to keep everyone happy. You need to be consistent going forward, and you need to start using these moments, because that's all we've had, to start something. And yeah, last night was brilliant, but I am definitely holding out still and saying I'm being very, very cautious, because Nottingham Forest, they've had an upturn since Espirito Santo has come in, and yeah, we could be on the other end of a hiding again at weekend if we don't attack that game in the right way. Catch you later, Adam. I'm off Stella shopping. Nice one, mate. I'm going there myself soon. I need to pick up some bits. Go and do some Aldi shopping. See what deals are on. Restock the cupboards because yeah, we've eaten everything out as you do at this time of year. Honest Tiger says key players coming back. Hopefully we can kick on in 2024. Yeah, Ten Hag has been talking about that and saying like when he gets his players back, he will have a more balanced squad. But the players never seem to be back. Luke Shaw, what happened to him last night? It was Varane the previous game. Then it's Luke Shaw. Oh, Johnny Evans, thank God. And by the way, Johnny Evans and Raphael Varane is our best centre-back partnership right now. I cannot take Varane out of that. He's just more composed than anyone else. Him and Johnny Evans actually don't panic on the ball. It's a joy to see. It really is. Maguire has been good and he's come back and done well, but Johnny Evans and Raphael Varane, I feel, have been our go-tos, our standouts for me. That performance against Liverpool, again last night, yeah, you can fault certain people for not picking up on them set pieces, but Villa have got a set piece coach who's one of the best in the business as well. And you can just see the little tweaks and things that he does. It was a big thing. It was actually a big conversation about Villa's set piece coach early on in the summer. And yeah, you're seeing it. We just got done last night by 2. So that'd be nice to have on United's side. But we did score from a corner, so that's also good. And thankfully Villa struggled like we did to get rid of the ball from a set piece. So yeah, I'm thankful for that, and I'm absolutely buzzing for Rasmus Højlund for getting that goal. Big performances last night. Big win for Manchester United, and hopefully, like you guys said in the chat, it definitely is a springboard going forward. Let's get that 150 mark up in the likes, people. If everyone could just like the video right now, that would be fantastic, and I think we will just get over that 150 mark. Brilliant stuff. Let's get through a few more of your comments. Hopefully Erik ten Hag realises that we need a double pivot in central midfield. Casemiro and Mainu are going to be a great foundation to build upon. That's very true. The double worked well last night. It did. Adam, yeah, I'm still sceptical on whether these players played for the manager or played to impress the new owners. Playing for their United careers, you could say. If it is true in what is being said regarding the termination process of player contracts and Manchester United being a bit more cutthroat on that side of things, then maybe this will kickstart the play. Ten Hag was talking like the ownership and the change can inspire his team going forward as well. I mean, he's not the one that ultimately gets rid of players, but he can obviously have his say, and if he is done like he has with Jadon Sancho, and the club are going to stick to their word and now back the manager and be a bit more ruthless, then these players aren't going to get it easy anymore at United, and that is music to every single Manchester United fan's ears. Daz Salford 69, any watch along later, Adam? I'm watching City later. Yes, I am on top of the league with Ben later doing the City Everton game, so you guys can come along and watch me. We'll be talking here on FUTV beforehand at 6:30 as usual. We'll have the live show there, and then we're going to go straight across to the top of the league, and we'll be watching City against Everton. Hopefully Everton finding that inner Goodison Park form again and taking more points off City, because I think a few results have gone City's way recently while they've been away, which is disappointing. But yeah, they can be right back in the top four if they win against Everton tonight. So hopefully you guys can come along and join us there. We'll crack open a beer and we'll have a bit of a night of it again. Come on the toffees, as we say. Varane is class when he plays, but he's not reliable, sadly. Buying a centre-back is vital. So say this here. So this is, for instance, Raphael Varane. And everyone said he's never a fit. He's not in the team. Tell me one centre-back at United that's had a full-on sustained spell without injury this season. Everyone keeps using Raphael as the pin-up. Like, he played more games at centre-back than anyone else last season. This season, I think he's up there alongside everyone else. But who has not been injured as a centre-back at United this season? You're all going in on Varane, but let's be honest, no one can say. I mean, you look at Luke Shaw. He's been worse this season. Now we've got the usual Harry Maguire, who is rock solid and never gets injured. His groin is gone. Lindelof's under the knife. Martinez is under the knife. We've got Kwamboala coming in as well. I mean, he's played as many bleeding games at the moment. I mean, everyone's having their share, so we can't go in on Varane and his injuries. Hopefully, when Martinez comes back, we can have a little base. Martinez has to be playing, and so does Varane for me. That's our centre-back partnership. Then we've got 3 others. We should have more than enough with the amount of games that we've got this season. Next 2 games, obviously, could kickstart everything. A win against Nottingham Forest. Obviously, then we've got Wolves in the league, and we've also got the FA Cup against Wigan. And we're moving into the new year then, and we're looking a bit more positive. And that's what's important right now. Manchester United just need to start using these momentum-boosting games and just look at them and learn from them. Does Salford Highland? Yes, I know. Chelsea Palace derby. I think it's more important to watch City and Everton, to be honest. I think that's the better game. And this is one thing I'm saying. We've been bemoaning Ten Hag. I've been complaining. There's a lot of United fans that are saying he needs to be sacked. What about Eddie Howe and Pochettino, for God's sake? Why is there no clamour in the media for Pochettino and Eddie Howe? I'm not being funny, but the pressure should be on them a lot more than it should be Ten Hag right now. He's ahead of both of them in the league, dealing with an absolute turmoil of a season, with everything going on, off, on the training ground, Ten Hag. Whereas Chelsea and Newcastle, all the money under the sun, billions spent for Pochettino. Newcastle, no pressure at all on Eddie Howe. Yeah, they've got injuries, but so have United, just as many as what Newcastle have had. Yeah, no one's calling for their names. I honestly think Eddie Howe he should be under more pressure than Erik ten Hag right now with the situation there. I mean, them Saudi owners are not going to wait around for Eddie Howe to start turning things around. They want success for their investment. Eddie Howe is not going to bring them success at Newcastle. Pochettino is not going to win a trophy or win a major trophy for Chelsea. You can see him probably sneaking the Carabao Cup, but I do fancy Liverpool in that, to be honest. But you look at Ten Hag and what he's actually had to deal with and the position he's in right now, I go, yeah, I think he's doing a better job. I think he's doing a better job than Pochettino and Eddie Howe. So yeah, let's not go in too hard. I mean, yeah, we can criticise Eddie Howe. I feel like we need to balance it though. I think people need to start turning their attentions to other managers as well as Ten Hag. The pressure's still on Ten Hag. If he loses against Nottingham Forest, it's just going to be back where it was before the Villa game. It is. And the FA Cup could be, an FA Cup run could be everything to United and Ten Hag. I actually think United can make the Champions League places this season. I do. I really do. Jens, the member, says fans get carried away by individuals and lucky goals. Fans do get carried away because we haven't had much to cheer about, Jens. That's the thing. We're looking for any positive that we can possibly drag out of any game at the moment. That's where we are as a fan base, unfortunately. They're the facts, Jens. I understand everything that you're saying. You just got to hope that these players can turn. I mean, you can see Ten Hag wants to do it. It's whether these players want to do it for Ten Hag. That's the big question. Steph Griffith says Pochettino 33% Premier League win rate, Ten Hag 50%. Exactly. And also, just coming up to 160 likes. So we made the 150 like mark, guys. Thank you very much. Brilliant stuff as always. And yes, I think with that, guys, we can wrap up the video for this morning. We are going to be talking later on 6:30 on FUTV, guys. There's more news coming out. So we will be live later on as well. Please do join us then. Hopefully you can make time in your busy schedules over this Christmas period. All your views, likes, subscriptions and everything like that and members are all appreciated. I know it's a busy time of year and everyone can't just solely focus on football as much as we want to. We have family commitments and we have to do them little visits, don't we? We know what it's like. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you again to you guys. Like I said, yesterday was a difficult day. We tried something new, but you guys were right behind it. Not one person came in and was slagging us off or anything like that. Trying to make the channel better is everything. Your input, everything, your contributions goes into that. And that's included in what we're doing. We've figured out the sound issue that was there yesterday. We are going to sort it for the next time that we are on location live as well. And just doing the pre-recorded stuff. It is just one of them things. You live, you learn, and you move on. And we will get better. And the channel will make it. We are going to make this channel massive. I promise you guys that. And that's all because of you. Thank you very much. Everyone, have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you at 6:30 live here on Forever United TV. Then crossing over to do the watch along between Everton and Manchester City on top of the league as well, guys. So have a good one. And I will see you all later on. Thanks very much, guys. Like, share and subscribe. If you are tuning in for the first time, we're out of here.